Bring to us your poetry.
From inspiration sought.
Come join us with your images.
Your verses, words, and thought.
From here, we'll share your balladry
with those who do not know it.
This platform's here for you to show
the world that you're the poet.
Welcome to episode 80 of You're the Poet, the poetry podcast featuring you. I'm host Matt Burgio, and I'm here with co-host Phil Burgio. Phil, welcome.
Anytime.
Here at You're the Poet, our purpose is to share our love of poetry with the world and invite you to do the same. We want to start by saying thank you to all of our listeners who have made You're the Poet possible. We hope you enjoy the podcast and the poetry that is shared. If you've written any poetry and you want to share it here, whether you just have an interest in poetry, consider yourself an amateur poet, or are a professional poet with published works, contact us to be a guest on a future episode. This episode of You're the Poet is our Around the Table 6, where we've invited back past guests for a round-the-table discussion and a sharing of poetry. So first of all, welcome back, everybody. I think to start off, we'll just go around the table and do some quick introductions. Of course, I'm Matt Burgio from episode 1 through 80 of You're the Poet. I'm from Loveland, Ohio, here in the United States.
I'm Phil Burgio. I'm his father, also from Loveland, Ohio, United States.
Hello, good morning, good evening to everybody, wherever you are. My name is Janet Tai. I'm from Malaysia. I was on episode 25 and 78.
Hi, I'm Katya Rome from episode 8. I'm in Houston, Texas, in the U.S., and I've sprinkled throughout some other episodes as well.
Hi there, I'm Robin Gittens. I was on episode 74. I was also on a previous roundtable. I'm excited to be here once again to share my stuff and meet other fun people.
Hello, my name is Robert Nolan Clark. I was in episode number 36, and I'm currently in Manila, Philippines.
All right, well, welcome, everybody. It's great to have you all back and returning to You're the Poet here to share your poetry and a little bit about what you're up to. So we're going to go ahead and start with some poetry. That's why we're here. Robert Nolan Clark, you're the poet. Show us what you've got.
Thank you very much, Matt. This is called Promised Love. She whispers in my ear, set my heart free. Her eyes sparkle visions, pleasure only I can see. My arms around her softness, tender comforts meant to be. As kisses from her lips, promised love just for me. Robert Nolan Clark.
Yeah, when you asked me about which poems you should share, of course, the romantic in me always wins out. And I've actually enjoyed some of those poems recently that I've seen on Facebook and some of your other social media. So I like that.
I write a lot of different types, mostly inspirational and spiritual. But I like to delve into the big questions: life, death, love.
Well, we thank you for that. And I know you're going with 2 short poems, right? Do you have another one for us there?
I do. This is called She Sang to Me. She sang to me a song, so soft away. Gold the sun painted, dawn's new day. She caressed my soul, kissed my eyes. Her love, like clouds, filled the skies.
Thank you.
Like they say, short and sweet. Very sweet.
Katya?
Yes, I love that one. It actually reminds me of a poem I've written for my mother. So my mom was the first thought that came to mind because she brings that kind of love that, rises the sun and brings up the stars and everything above. So I really love that one.
Thank you.
All right. Well, from here, we'll move on. Phil, I'm actually going to have you go next.
Okay.
What you got for us?
I got an acrostic. If you know what an acrostic is, that's you take a word and you write a line for every letter. And each line is a different letter in the word. This word is Japanese. It's called IKIGAI. It means Japanese reason for living. In the morning when I wake, keeping my reason for living. I'm pleased with the tasks I take. Glad my life has gone this way. And keeping with my well-being, I can write poems every day. Phil Burgio.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, I do like acrostics. One of my favorite forms. Plus, I did a rhyming acrostic, which is
I always love coming on this podcast because I feel like the people we have at the table, there's like a poem that I relate to, or there's something that it's like there's a similarity. And with that one, I found so many similarities in like how I write. And I love that it was in that format as well, because it made it short and sweet and it still gave the full imagery, which I thought was beautiful. Yeah.
It resonates.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. And speaking of connections, Katya, I don't know if you ever heard the episode where Phil did Phantasmagoria as a an acrostic, and I was like, that's a word that I first learned from your book.
Right.
And
I
that
didn't even
wanna,
think about that.
yeah, and someday I want to write a poem, not as an acrostic, but with that as sort of the theme.
That'd be
Uh,
cool.
and I thought that was such a great word that when I read it in your book, I was like, wow, yeah,
You don't remember what episode that was?
no idea.
I don't remember. It might have been 8.
Yeah, no, he I know he did the acrostic way after that, but yeah, so but yeah, for everybody out there, check out Under the Influence of Gravity. Great book. Throw a little plug out there for you.
Thanks.
All right, well, as we wrap up our first section here, Robin, you're the poet. Show us what you've got.
You know me, I'll have to tell you. I will say the title after. Okay. This paved pasture is not an oven, nor am I the bread it bakes. The afternoon bell breaks recess. To their classrooms, children regress. A sprained ankle, or maybe my back. Like a stoic stump, I'm unable to lift my trunk. No noisy eyes to notice. I'm sprawled between a fence full of diamonds, torn along the green. Behind an empty building, a room reserved for gardening tools, supplies, and netted window screens. No eager ears to hear the ache buoying my tide of tears. Not even a sight of cirrus or cumulus to curtain the bright, bulbous day. This paved pasture is not an oven, nor am I cake, for my dough burns rather than it bakes.
Wow, thank you
I
for
really
sharing.
appreciate all the tools you used. Your
Sorry?
alliteration, your concrete descriptions, very nice.
Thank you.
Yes, love the way you ended that.
Oops, not interrupt. That's called over temperature. Sorry, I forgot that.
With that title, that completely seals up the ending as well. I love the way you ended it. You're not a cake, this is not an oven. Like, I just love the imagery, the metaphors, everything. Well put.
Thank you.
It has a good flow to it.
Yet I don't know the whole theme, but I just picture a kid that kind of got beat up on the playground. But as they're laying there, there's this very descriptive
Close.
scene of everything that's going on around them there. And I just thought that was interesting. It was reminding me of some other poetry I had read where the speaker is just sort of noticing the mundane around them with everything else going on. So I thought that was sort of interestingly intertwined there with the imagery and everything.
True story. It's about me.
Robert?
I really appreciate how you said that it's about the mundane. Isn't that what we do a lot? Bring the mundane to life.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
And I didn't mean to say that the topic of the poem was mundane, but just
Right.
the gravity and depth of the poem, the things that the speaker was
Slice of
focusing
life.
on. Yeah.
I wholeheartedly accept the word mundane. Trust me. No issue here.
All right, guys. Well, that sort of brings us to our intermission, as I call it. And it's at this point in the episode where I like to go back around the table. And if you've got any updates or anything you want to tell us about that you've been up to, whether poetry related or even life related, as we're building a community and family here, it doesn't all have to be related to our writing. But if you got anything going on or updates, we just love to hear about that kind of stuff. So, Robert, we'll start with you again. If you want to give us any life updates or writing updates or what you got going on, the floor is yours.
Well, I write daily, and it's a very important part of my life. I'm retired. It's the only thing I do consistently besides try to encourage people from the Bible. Those are two consistent things in my life. And I'm really enjoying my life. I'm newly married, so to speak. I'm working on 9 years now. It's new to me. I'm an old man. It's only been, going on 9 years. And I love being here in the Philippines. It's a wonderful culture. That's all.
Can you remind us again where you're originally from?
I'm originally from St. Louis.
Okay. I knew it was somewhere over here and I couldn't remember where, but
I have a friend that's doing ministries over in the Philippines. I don't know what city he's in, but he married a Filipina lady, and he goes back and forth from the United States, and he works a lot with the kids, teaching them Bible studies and things. And I don't know where he's located. So he's doing the same thing you're doing.
nice.
There is about 50 million people here, I think. It's really a large nation spread out over about 1,500. I'm just rounding the numbers. It might be 1,800 islands.
Oh, wow.
It's so diverse.
Every time there's every time there's an earthquake over there, I call my friend in Cleveland. Is your family okay? And she says, yeah, that was up north or down south or whatever.
Way south.
Well, I don't know if I mentioned it last time, but I am trying to complete my creative writing program at our university. I'm on the final. It's not even a course; it's the final project. So I'm just finding professors or panelists to go through it with me. It's a 5-month thing, so that's the last thing I'm excited about that. As you know, Matt, I just recently finished my website. I'm slow on it, but I recently did finish after many months of contemplation, trying to promote it and stuff. A lot of stuff to do there, a lot of stuff. I'm leveraging my background in tech, and I'm building an app for poets. I won't say anything more about that yet. I'm going to contact you eventually, but I am doing that. And yeah, I'm still trying to build up my audience. Writing constantly. There's so much.
Very cool. And please tell everybody where they can find this beautiful website you created. It is pretty amazing.
Oh, for those that are curious, it is my name, Robin, A as in Apple, Gittens. That's GITTENS.com. RobinAGittens.com. I can put it in the chat, actually.
We will, and we'll share it as one of our links in the episode notes as well. So.
Well, appreciate that. Thank
you. Worth checking out. You did such a great job putting that together. I was utterly impressed. That's definitely not just in the poetry world, but I thought one of the better websites I've seen in general.
Oh, thank you.
Very well. Well done on that.
I'm going to have to look at it.
Let me know what you think. Like I said, I'm on my path to getting published. I'm getting into things I would have never done over a year ago. Like trying to get out of the tech industry. I'm in my early 40s, but I have no love for the tech industry. I rather dedicate the rest of my life to writing.
Good luck to you.
I need it. I need it.
All right, Katya.
Well, as far as updates with me, I'm always trying to build my audience, like what Robin says, trying to expand my writing. Working on 2 different writing projects, which is my second poetry collection, and a creative fiction work, a thriller fiction novel that I'm working on as much as I can, but I always expand my artwork into other avenues like pottery and painting. So I'm always doing something creative, always trying to expand, especially in Houston, and doing poetry shows and things like that. So it's been pretty neutral since the last time I've been here, but it's still been a good ride.
Very cool. And just a side note too, for those of you, we talked about episode 8 and things like that earlier. Katya used to go by the name KM Weldon. So if you are familiar with that from earlier episodes of You're the Poet, it's the same person, same great personality, same great poetry, just under a new name. So.
Yes, very true, very true.
All right, Janet?
Me, I'm a retired person just like Robert. I've been retired more than 10 years. I write poetry like Robert almost every day. or whenever the words in my head are circumventing and I just had to get them out. And I'm 65. I'm a cancer survivor and also an abuse survivor. And I have a book out. The title is I Make My Bed, I Lie in It. And I have been writing fervently since 2023. So I have got a very massive collection of poetry, which recently I have been compiling them. But as I was going through them, I am gobsmacked. Sometimes I ask myself, wow, did I really write that? So, it is a very comforting and an outlet for me to write because where I come from, who I am, are all in that poem. It is non-fiction. I call them my poetical ammunition. Okay.
Very cool. And outside of poetry, I know Janet also does a lot of singing and some great art as well.
Oh, yes. I sing, I can bake, I can cook. I'm a household maintenance personnel. I catch rat, I destroy cockroaches whenever there's a need.
Robert?
Well, Janet mentioned how long she's been writing, and excuse me, I'm sorry. That made me curious about Robin and how do you say it, Kyla?
Katya?
How long you guys have been writing? When did you start? What was the motivation? What made you start writing poetry? It's a very rare type of thing to want to write poetry as opposed to a book, a screenplay, or anything like that. So I'm curious what the motivation was and when you started. How long ago was it?
Robin, do you want to take that first?
Actually, sorry, I was on mute. Katya, would you mind going first? Because I want to add on something to say to Janet.
Oh, I mean, I started writing since I literally popped out the womb. That's one of the first things I picked up was a pencil and started writing stories. I didn't really get closer into poetry until my last year of high school, which is actually when I had started my first poetry collection. So I actually had a teacher that kind of really dug me into it, and I really dug in from there. So it's been like over a decade now that I've kind of gotten into poetry.
All right. Robin?
Well, so I'm originally from Barbados. I don't think I said I live in Canada now since 2003. I used I'm very creative, like always was as a kid, but not with writing, mostly drawing. But when I was a teenager, like I went through a lot as a teenager, but I started to hide and write stuff. I don't know how it started, but I just wrote, and I felt very embarrassed and ashamed to do so because I wasn't around the community or a community to really express. So over the years, even when he came up here, I always kept writing stuff and just saving it in a doc or something. But like in 2015, I lost my mother to cancer, and I do not like how do I say? I do not like express emotions or deal with them like I guess the average way. I was more so consoling people all the time, including my dad. Um, but then I realized I was writing more and more, um, and I just wrote this really long verbose thing about the last 10 days I spent with my mother. Um, I didn't take it seriously. I just wrote it. But then I shared it with a couple persons and family members, and like they're in tears. And they're coming back to me and they're talking deeply about it. And I'm like, maybe I have something here that I should really take seriously. So that was kind of the trigger that made me go back to like continuing education and just do this program in the last couple of years. And looking back at what I wrote, like this long thing, it's like totally different. I know it's like when reading, there are different styles that I have and all that jazz, and it's so fun. But I realize how I communicate emotion and all that stuff is I do it through words. And when I hear Janet talking about the cancer thing, it's amazing that I hear somehow every time I'm in a group, I'm hearing someone with this story, right? And I'm not using it as an opportunity to plug myself, but technically I am. If you do go to my website, there is a section where you have like a chat book on that whole last 10 days I spent with my mother, but it's like completely rewritten, like a couple of months ago, right? And I use that like as a, how should I say? Um, like a business card. I use that chat book as a business card for free. Like here's a sample of my writing. So if you're ever interested or anything, like I would encourage you to read that because there's a connection there. And like my stuff, how I write is pretty dark, Matt, Phil, and Noam. It's pretty heavy. Like nothing holds me back, but it's a lot, and it shows a great deal. Big story. That's it.
Yeah, well, thank you guys. And on that note, if you want to know more about their stories, both Robin and Katya, please check out episodes 8 and 74 of You're the Poet. All right. Phil, what have you been up to?
Little road trips, going visiting here, going visiting there. And I was just up in Cleveland over the weekend for a wedding, which was nice because the past 2 times I got together with my family, it was for funerals. So this was nice seeing my cousins and my cousins' kids and just enjoying it and hooking up with cousins I haven't seen since they were like 5 years old, and now they're grown men. And it was a good experience. Like I said, a whole lot better than funerals.
Amen.
And yeah, and then just kind of like writing poetry, and still a lot of love to cook, and always coming up with something. 4th of July, I made some really good barbecue. Well, I think it was really good.
It was.
Okay, thank you. And yeah, just kind of chilling. Been retired for 22 years and enjoying every minute of it. And like I said, about writing poetry about emotions. My wife passed away cancer a few years ago. And I got a trilogy of poems about grief that I wrote. And I'm over the debilitating grief now. It's just, when I think of her, I think of the happy thoughts.
Good.
That's it.
All right, as for me, not too much new going on in life. Always busy. My wife and I are always taking trips and doing things. And I always feel like the summer gets really busy. If you look at our track record for You're the Poet, the episodes in the summer tend to get farther and farther apart as we're all busy and trying to coordinate schedules and whatnot. So I was happy that our episode 79 just came out, which was sort of a special episode, not quite like a round table, but we had Amos Makubwa from Kenya, who was our episode 21 guest. He came back on, but he brought his, what he calls the Alpha Generation 1, his a group of students that he mentors, and they got a chance to share their poetry. So that's kind of a little special episode we did for episode 79. So that came out today for anyone that wants to check that out. It's kind of I'm hoping we'll hear more from those students, and that hopefully some of them will do their own individual episodes here on You're the Poet. But other than that, just trying to write when I can, read poetry when I can. I've been doing some reading of poetry. I know some of the Wheel Song books came out, and I know they're doing a big promotion right now because they're helping donate money to Save the Children for helping with the Venezuela relief for families and children that were struck with the Venezuela disaster. So just trying to help with some of that stuff when I can. So and just keeping
You have a big heart, Phil.
just trying to keep the Year of the Poet community afloat as well. So
I'm sorry.
that's okay. I get that a lot. It's okay.
What?
He called me Phil.
Oh, it's okay. I call him Mike sometimes, his brother's name, so that happens.
It cracks
My
me
dad
up.
used to do that.
I get that at work a lot, where someone will accidentally call me Mike or Michael, and I'm always like, "Oh, that's okay. I've been called Mike or Michael a million times in my life. It doesn't even faze me anymore." But yeah, well, thank you guys. It's always great to hear what everybody's up to in the community.
I have
Robert?
to share something about what you just said, Matt. Sometimes my dad would call me Ron. That is my brother's name.
Yep.
And when he's mad at me, I would just look at him. I wouldn't respond. And he'd say, "What do you have to say for yourself?" And I go, "Well, I'm not Ron." Oh, man, would he get upset? He goes, "You know what I'm talking about." Anyway, no, I haven't thought of that in 30 years, I'm sure.
I have 3 sons, and when they were younger, and you get angry, You go through all their names and make sure you caught the right one.
Got to be careful there, Robert, with the smart aleck responses. I was just sharing with the Natasha Akafaloran in her episode about wooden spoons, and my mom disciplining us with a wooden spoon, but it broke one time, and I found it funny, and I busted out laughing. And you ever wanted to see fire and brimstone come down that wasn't directly from God? That was the way to do it. But good times.
A 411 avenging angel.
Right. Anyway, all right. Well, thank you guys. It's always good to hear what you're up to. Let's move back into some poetry. I'm going to go ahead and start this segment off. This is just a short little ballad style poem that I wrote. I actually started it over a year ago, I realized. I was like, oh, I never finished that poem. But it's just a short sort of tribute to my wife and to our dog. So it's called Sleeping Beauty and Her Dog. The Sleeping Beauty and her dog, with Sandman in pursuit, are cuddled on the couch as one and looking very cute. They take their turns with gentle snores, a whisper in their dreams. All else is quiet in the home as moonlight on them streams. The blankets wrapped around them both hold tight the ones I love, and I smile as I sit and write these things that I speak of. I thank the heavens every night for granting me this life, with Sleeping Beauty and her dog, my best boy and my wife. Matthew Burgio.
Yeah, and
Nice.
the dog
Hey,
is
that's so sweet.
the dog is right here.
Matt,
We
I
bring,
really appreciate your style. I always have from day one.
Thank you.
So cozy.
It is.
Yeah, so cozy.
we have to have the dog in the studio because if we don't, my cat will jump up on the keyboard and step on keys and mess things up and probably shut us off. So he comes just to keep her away.
Right. And I tell you what, when I grab my computer bag at home to load up to come to the studio, he just goes absolutely crazy knowing he's going to Papa's to hang out. So, but no, my wife actually gets mad at me because I'm always taking pictures of the two of them like cuddled up on the couch. And I'm like, well, you guys are so adorable. So it inspires me to write. So, but yeah,
That's love.
that's just my short little poem there.
Thank you.
You're welcome, and thank you for enjoying it. Janet, would you like to go next?
Yes, I am. Before I start, I'm giving a little heads up. This title is September Calm. All right. I don't know whether if this is the doing of God's will or pure coincidence. You see, I married on September 18. I was diagnosed with cancer on September 18. And I had my hysterectomy also on September 18. So now you tell me it is a luck. Of course, it's not a good luck. It's bad luck and work of God, the hand of God.
We'll
So
see
they
what
all tie in. They all tie in with that month. So whenever that month comes along in the beginning, I was very, very upset. I be fidgety. I wouldn't be myself. But slowly as the years pass, I have decided enough is enough. So I came up with this poem. September calm. Look at her, sitting quietly engrossed in deep thought, even though it's the dreaded month of September. However, she's had enough of all those dark memories that loves to stir up her pain. This year, she is doing her utmost to keep those memories at bay. She prays for nothing but good days ahead. It's been said that there's no timeline on healing when you are still living in that toxic place. Hence, she will meditate more regularly to recalibrate her thought process, peace of mind will be still. That's me.
Good.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Jonah.
You're gonna have to let us know what
Yeah,
happens
that's-
this
That's
September
beautiful.
18th.
And thank you so much for introducing the motivation behind that. It
uh,
really is beautiful.
The poem made a lot more
I
sense with your
don't,
explanation.
I don't like that coincidence.
Perfect thing.
When it happened, the diagnosis, I look at the report. Hey, today's my anniversary. Then 2 years, 6 years down the line, my hysterectomy. Hey, surgery is 18. It's also September. So I look up. I said, God, are you playing a joke on me?
Yes, knowing more about like where the title comes from and what it derives from
Yeah,
gives it a lot more of like this judge, this value to it.
Right.
Because that was
yeah,
very well written.
yeah. Thank you.
Well, thank you for sharing that, and hopefully this September 18th is a good one for you.
This September, I'm not going to think about it. Okay, Sarah.
Right. Whatever will be, will be.
Yeah.
All right, well, as we finish things up here, last but definitely not least, Katya Rome, you're the poet. Show us what you got.
Well, okay, so I tend to always share from my collection Under the Influence of Gravity. And today I'm sharing a poem called Twilight Zone, and it goes like this. It's 3 a.m, and I almost went over to your house tonight. Quickly remembered, we don't miss each other the same. You kept calling me your angel just to clip my wings, and there I was in hysterics, wondering why my clock ran the way it did. Then you came along and unwound me, spiraled me into believing you stopped time, but all you did was steal it. And you left me riddled, playing in my mind of how things could have been different. I was bound in the same place, accepting I'm too broken to fix. You called me heaven sent, yet there I was dancing with the devil, forgetting how easy it was for you to cut my heart out. Alas, I still wanted to see you just so someone would hold me. And from Katya Rome, I wrote that poem because I think when we think of Twilight Zone, like we like imagine something like surreal or dreamlike, but I wanted to kind of reimagine it into like a whole emotional space and an emotional place where it's like blurred and a little bit conflicted, this like conflicted space of clarity and longing. So you know this person broke you, but you still ache for them to heal you in those places. And I think this poem kind of reflects the nuance of that confliction.
Thank you.
Almost reminded me, I don't know if it's a country song, as it talks about like when a heart breaks, that a heart it doesn't break even. That you had that line that like, oh yeah, they remembered that we don't feel the same about the breakup, that you wanted to go over there, but they remembered like, oh, well, we don't feel the same, or I don't remember the exact line, but kind of made me think about that. And I think anyone that's
I
kind of,
forgot about that song. Yeah, it does remind me of that.
I think those of us that have gone through breakups and things, you realize that like, there's always the person on the more crushed side of that. So, but thank you. That was a well written poem and good imagery there, and I like the whole sort of Twilight Zone tie-in.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. It's a nice poem.
Thank you.
You notice the theme for all of us. It's passion about life.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right, guys. Well, that brings us to the end of the poetry and what'll be the end of the episode here. I'm going to go ahead and do the conclusion, and then I'm going to come back and say goodbye to you all individually. So just sort of hang tight and be ready. I'll just go around the circle after I say bye to Phil, and we'll say bye to each one of you guys individually. So
Okay.
just hang tight for that. So as we wrap things up, we want to let our listeners know that we're grateful that you've taken the time to tune in. We hope you're enjoying the poetry shared here, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to the podcast and share it with others. If you would like to support You're the Poet and what we're doing here, there are a couple of ways to help. You can find links on our website to our Buy Me a Coffee patron site, as well as our You're the Poet store, where you can buy You're the Poet merchandise and share your love of poetry with the world. Thank you for your support as we continue to grow. Please check out our website and various social media outlets to keep up to date with You're the Poet. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and our website, you'rethepoet.com. To inquire about the podcast and being a guest, or to send us feedback on an episode, send us an email to host@you'rethepoet.com. Until next time, Phil, thanks for joining us.
Good night and joy be to you all.
Janet, thanks for coming back on.
Great to be back.
Katya, thanks for returning and sharing your work with us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Robin, always a pleasure. Thanks for being back on.
Great to meet all of you.
And Robert Nolan Clark, thank you for joining us this early morning in the Philippines at the Starbucks there.
Thank you so much, and thank you for introducing all of the incredibly talented poets. I really appreciate what you guys are doing for the world of poetry.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, and please find each other, look each other up on social media as we build the community here. I hope you guys will interact. And thanks again for coming on. Guys, all have a great day, great afternoon, great morning, wherever you are in the world. Thank you all. Goodbye.